are three things, let me repeat myself one more time. There are three things stopping you right now from making over $100,000 per year in wholesaling real estate. If you look at a wide data set of wholesalers and how much money they make and what percentile they are in the field, and really when you look at this video and look what I'm talking about, my main focus is how can I get you to be in the top 10% of wholesalers? The real thing we're going to talk about today is how to get ahead of 90% of all real estate wholesalers in your own market, in your virtual wholesaling, and with everything. And the honest goal here is how much money we're going to make, right? So I don't care how much knowledge you have, things like that. What I'm going to talk to you about today is how to get ahead of 90% of all wholesalers. If you get in front of them, you'll be in the top 10% of wholesalers. And in my personal opinion, to be in the top 10%, you're going to make at least $100,000 per year. That is it. That is what we're talking about. And the key thing here is the most shocking and the biggest revelation I can tell you is you're about three things away from doing it. If you can master three super stupid, simple key concepts that nobody else in real estate wholesaling really ever talks about, they do it. They all do it. I'll tell you this, they all do the hard things. They all do these three things, but they never talk about it, or it's behind a $10,000 coaching program. And what I'm going to do today is just share with you and show you how to master those three things, what those three things are, and how you can become a successful wholesaler. That is it. That is all we're talking about. This is so interesting to me because what's taking somebody from making zero deals at all in their wholesaling real estate business? A lot of people think it's how much effort I'm putting in or the time, and that's all it is, or I just got to grind more or hustle. And sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's about really three distinctive things. And a lot of wholesalers sometimes they're fishing in the pond, and there's so many wholesalers there, and they think, oh, I just got to fish harder. Like that ain't going to do it. There's too much competition in one specific area. Maybe you're just doing it wrong, right? And it just takes maybe switching your bait or doing something very different to change everything. And really, the point of this video is I think I'm going to resonate with some people when I talk about the three simple things, because a lot of people think it's this crazy hard work I got to put into, right? I got to work 100 hours a week and then I'll become successful. And in all honesty, it's not about even that. It's about three simple things, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And of course, this is all free. I'm not here to charge you to learn this information. I'm just trying to get you to make at least 100K a year. And that's the goal of this video, and give it in the most simple way possible. That wholesaling is not complicated. You don't have to be this crazy mad genius to do it. You'll be successful. Now, I'm pulling some of these numbers statistically from our own real estate wholesaling group, from the wide swath of people that subscribe to me, that follow me. We got about humbly 500,000 people across all social media that follow us. A lot more than that if you count the free wholesaling course that's on a social media platform, but roughly about 500,000. And the wholesaling real estate industry is way bigger than that, like way bigger than 500,000 people, but we got amazing 500,000 people watching us, and love everyone. And, I bottom of my heart, thank you. But I look at those people and I can kind of use, our Flip with Rick people, or people that follow Zach and YouTube channel, the Rick and YouTube channel. I'm talking about all the social medias. I kind of look at them in one swath, and there's a lot of newbies. There's a lot of people that were newbies and now they got their first deal. And there's a lot of people that were newbies that are making a ton of money in wholesaling, right? In my opinion, about 59% of all wholesalers that I talk to, that follow me, that are doing it, a lot of them are under the age of 30. A lot of them are usually male, right? We've got a lot of great females, but a lot of the females that work hard, they're not even in this category, I'll tell you that. That's for a different day of how the women actually do way better than in wholesale. There's a couple key reasons why, but we'll leave that for another day. But for most people, 59%, they haven't gotten their first deal. And majority is because, I'll tell you this, we were at a fraction of the people that followed me. If you looked at from the last year, it was such a tiny portion. I mean, more than half of our followers have followed us just in the past year. You could say the past 8 months, really. So most people that follow us are just brand new wholesalers. So that's also a really cool, awesome thing. But 59%, not a deal. It's not a bad thing, but that's probably where a lot of people are. I'd say the average wholesaler is probably making around $50,000 a year. Not a bad thing, not a terrible thing. But the average full-time guy or gal probably making about $50K a year in wholesaling if you look at net profit after everything. It's probably a little more, but I'd say 50 grand, maybe 40 just to be conservative. But they're making about $50,000 in assignment fees, right? A lot of these people are part-time wholesalers. A lot of these people are working still a job. They're kind of doing it on the side, and they're just trying to get a little bit more. These people are probably going to be the top 30% of wholesalers, right? That's not the hump of 10%. But that's where a good chunk of change, they're halfway through that grind cycle, but they're still going through it, right? And when I say the good wholesalers, right, your top 10%, you're making 100K a year. These are usually the cream of the crop type people that just work harder than the usual person. They get to the 10%, they skip the line. Within a year, they're probably like this. This was me starting out. Now, obviously, I'm always an exception to the rule, but people making that. And then obviously you got the 1% of wholesalers, which is probably way less than this, but I'm just trying to be nice. About 1% of wholesalers are at about 100K a month, which is basically where I'm at. That's pretty much when we look at the entire wholesaling real estate industry. That's specific what we're talking about. That's where they're roughly at, right? There's the 1%, the 10%, 30, and then there's the 60%, right? And when we think about it like that, we can kind of just understand what it takes to get to the top 10%. How do I get ahead of 90% of real estate wholesalers in this industry? And when I'm talking about that, we're just going to focus on one thing. That's making 100K a year, right? That's usually when we can quit our job, stop all the stupid stuff, working a job, wholesaling part-time, we go all in on it. And a lot of the issue is I just can't put all this time into wholesaling because I'm working part-time. And I totally get that. Most people that are making 30, 40 grand a year in wholesaling that are putting part-time into it, and then they're able to put full-time into it, they hit that 100K really easy, right? So yes, some of it is just a time thing. You're putting half your time into wholesaling and you just use that full-time, you could probably get to that point, right? But that's pretty obvious, right? Making 50K, working 20 hours a week, you put 40 hours, you're probably gonna get to 100K. I mean, simple as that, right? A lot of people think the secret's getting a business partner or something like that. It's usually not like that, right? And so let's show you the difference between the people that are making 100K versus not, and what you probably got to understand. Let's talk about this. Now, let me just break down one thing, and before you scream at me, before you get out of this video and say, this dude is just saying the simplest things, hear me out for a second. This is so simple, and I want you just to think about this before you scream at me. But to be in the top 10% of wholesalers, you just got to find the difference between the successful wholesalers making 100K a year and you. Find the difference between what that person does and what you do. Now, from somebody that tried to get to that point, you seem like, I don't care, they just work harder, they make more money, they're so much better, they put more, whatever your excuse is, whatever you're angry at, just before you get mad at me, just think about it for a second. All you literally have to do, and this is stuff that has changed my mind forever. This is the stuff people in big masterminds do. You spend tens of thousands of dollars. You find out, okay, what do I do in the day? And what does the person making 100K a year do in a day? And where you're going to figure out the differences, it's not crazy big differences, right? And if you really do this exercise with somebody in your own wholesaling real estate market, that's when things start changing. Because it's not like, oh, it's the market that's the problem, right? So we got to think about to ourselves. What's the difference between the two? Is it the market that they're in? Are they marketing better, right? Are they in just doing better zip codes than me? Or are they doing better areas? Are they doing better marketing channels? Are they doing better lists? You just got to think to a second, like, is it the market that's going to be the thing that's different, right? Like, why are they making 100K and why am I not, right? There's a really good book. It's like, why is this idiot rich, not me, right? And it's usually never about intelligence. It's never about how smart you are, the reason why that person's making more money than you. It's never intelligence, right? There's a lot of really intelligent people that are watching this that haven't gotten the first deal. Way smarter than me, that haven't gotten the first deal. So it's obviously not an intelligence. It's not how smart you are, right? Sometimes it's not even effort, right? A lot of people are like, is it luck? Did the guy get lucky, right? You get lucky with one deal, right? And luck is just when the opportunity arises and how prepared you are for it, right? How lucky you are. A lot of people get lucky and stuff, but they don't have the knowledge of what to do and they can't do it. And obviously luck can change, right? The more you market, the more lucky you're going to get finding a really good deal, right? There's always going to be some luck in wholesaling real estate. The guy that says there's no luck in wholesaling is obviously a liar. You just get lucky with some deals. Heck, my first deal was probably the luckiest deal ever. Easiest deal I've ever done in my entire life. It's my first wholesaling deal ever. Sometimes the card does it. Sometimes you call it higher being. I don't know what you call it, but I got very lucky on that one. And hey, the cards fell. But what I can tell you is it's not luck. You get lucky once or twice, but getting consistent wholesaling deals, 10K a month, is not luck. That's not how it works. You don't get lucky with it every single month. And the last part's like, is it skill? Like, is this person just so much more skilled than me? Are they this king closer that just closes all these deals? And is that the thing making them way more successful than me? Is that the secret between that successful wholesaler and me? And when you really write it down, and when you really look at it, right, it comes down to about three things, right? Number one, and this is probably going to be the biggest difference I think a lot of wholesalers don't put any weight into. And it's probably one of the most, when I was a lot younger, and I can say this now, almost 7 years in this game, in wholesaling real estate, man, I used to roll my eyes when I heard people talk about mindset, right? But one of the biggest differences between people that are successful in wholesaling and aren't is just your mindset. And mindset's not going to be this thing that you can change overnight, or mindset's not this big thing that's going to take forever to do, right? It doesn't change overnight. It'll probably take you a month or two to create a habit. Mindset is a habit, right? People can go from a good mindset to a bad mindset, and they are still the same person. It's just the way they're thinking is different, and you can do it the other way around, go from a bad to good. But the mindset wholesaling real estate I'm talking about is the way they approach things. The way you approach things can change a lot in your life, right? And so, for example, when it's a rainy day, a lot of people get depressed. People get depressed when it rains. But if you live, let's say, in a desert and you're really thirsty and you see rain, it's probably the happiest day of your life. And you get happy because all the vegetation gets rain and all this great stuff, right? And there's just two people looking at it, right? Glass is half full, half empty, whatever way it is around it. But the people that are successful in wholesaling real estate and the people that are not successful in wholesaling real estate, they both take massive amounts of adversity. I'll tell you this, hard things will always come to you in life. Does that mean life is worth living if I have to deal with struggle? Of course, life is always worth living. The pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of wholesaling real estate is always worth it. Me knowing getting into wholesaling, it's probably going to suck. There's going to be a lot of challenges. There's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Of course that's going to happen. Of course. Does that mean I shouldn't do it? The payoff is so much better than the struggle and adversity, right? And the mindset difference I've seen is how people handle that. How do you handle when somebody curses at you? How do you handle when somebody at the code enforcement department says, no, I'm not giving you the list? How do you handle it when the seller says no? Do you just give up? Or do you follow up every single week? A lot of the stuff are little intangible stuff about how you view yourself, how you view the real estate market, how you view your wholesaling real estate business, and just how you view life in general. Are you a happy person, sad person? You got to look at all these things. And when you wake up every single morning and you realize that there are people in this world, probably the same age as you, that didn't wake up this morning. I don't want to get gruesome on that, but it is true that there are people your age, probably look just like you, that didn't wake up. And if you look at it on that mindset, you're really lucky to live the day. You get to wake up today and you have the opportunity. You don't get, like, the world doesn't owe you a wholesaling deal. You get the opportunity to go out here and get a wholesaling deal. And I can get a wholesaling deal, right? Once you have that mindset, it's not going to automatically get you wholesaling deals. Okay. There's plenty of people with very nice, positive mindsets that are absolutely broke. They make no money in wholesaling. That is true. And there's people with terrible mindsets that make a ton of money. But the vast majority of successful wholesalers have great mindsets. And the honest truth about the mindset here is how they handle adversity and how they handle talking to sellers and great things. You sound a lot better with sellers when you're in a good mood. You close a lot more deals when you're in a happy-go-lucky state and you're just a nicer person overall. And so this is the thing, you might not like this. You might roll your eyes, say, this is not what I'm here. I'm just telling you the truth. If you have a good mindset, if you look at life in a positive light, and you know that you have the opportunity to get wholesaling deals, you'll be put in a good state to actually go get wholesaling real estate deals. They always say the energy you can attract the energy you want, right? And so if you put out good happiness out in the world, good stuff comes to you. Same thing with wholesaling deals. If you put out good vibes, quote, good vibes, and you're actually happy and you're a very positive, likable person, your seller's going to sense that. And if you genuinely have a great mindset in your soul that you want to help somebody out, you legitimately want to help them out in their situation, they're going to go with you over the competition. And so I'm saying this in a way, and I'm taking a lot of time on this because I've dealt with competition where they've had a terrible salesman mindset where get the deal, make money. And I'm just, hey, I'm sorry your uncle passed away. I know this is terrible, right? I might give them an example of me having to deal with a tough situation too, and just talking to the person and seeing how they're feeling in the day, and just not even talking about the real estate, but then knowing I'm a nice person, then going with me versus the competition that maybe even offers them way more money for the house. That mindset got me the deal. And there's little things that give you a lot of money, right? And that's the first thing I want to talk about. That's just one little part of the equation. But I do see a big difference between successful wholesalers and non-successful wholesalers. If you can be the person going out here and getting deals and you have a positive mindset, you'll get way more wholesaling deals. You make more money. The people that I interview in wholesaling real estate, the people I interview that get a lot of great deals, none of them, when I interview them, say, yeah, I made $100,000 this year, and it's good, I guess, and yeah, whatever. No, they're all like, oh my gosh, I made $100,000. I was broke. I put the effort in, and I knew if I just kept going that I can do it. I stayed positive. I had a smile on my face, and I kept going after it every single day. Those are the people who are successful. I have all these amazing success stories, And the ones that are always like that I talk to, the young people, the older people, the people that are couples that always do it like that, they all have a smile on their face. They're super happy. And of course, because they got the money, but you talk to them even before because I do one-on-one calls with them. They're always got a positive mindset. There is a key to this, guys. And just no one talks about it. It's true. I know it sounds foo-foo, but just have a positive mindset. That's all I can tell you. And the most important part is time and effort. Now, duh, Zach, duh. Of course you're saying that, right? I get it, right? Let me elaborate on this. Okay, these are the three things that I'm talking about, obviously, but I'm just trying to give you the key differences between successful wholesalers that are in the top 10% and the ones that are not. Just these are things that help, okay? They will not hurt you making money in wholesaling. I'm doing this to make you money. I'm not doing this to go sell you some coaching foo-foo guru course where we're going to meditate on the beach and hold hands, right? Like, and speak Hindu and try to get our chakra together. I'm not doing it because of that. When I was young, I used to think, oh, this is all foo-foo stuff, but it's true, okay? So time and effort. This is the one key thing I can tell you. And I'm just going to give you one analogy because I love analogies. But you talk to an NBA player and you talk to a non-NBA player. The biggest difference, number one, is usually height and, God-given genetics, right? Like that's one thing, right? People are 7'3", 7'4", and they're the fastest people in the world, right? Like just happens, right? But like you look at all the people that are over 7 foot. Why are the ones in the NBA and the ones that are not in the NBA 7 feet tall and not? It's about the time and effort they put into it. You can't fake time and effort in this business. And this is why I love time and effort. And this is why I truly believe that time and effort is probably going to be the biggest key difference between the people that are successful or not, is you just can't fake it. You really can't, okay? When you step in and you go against somebody and you're playing a video game. I love playing CSGO. I'm not the best CSGO player in the world because I've only had a gaming PC for like 2.5, 3 years. And I like working. I don't really game on it, right? I use it to stream on my computer at my house here. But when I find myself on the weekend sometimes playing CSGO, I was playing it this morning when I woke up, but I get absolutely destroyed on like ranked matches or when I like go against people that actually know what they're doing, right? And sometimes you got to think like, what's the difference between those people and me? Do I just suck at this game? Am I never meant to be good at it? And CSGO is a video game. It's like a shooting video game. It's time and effort, right? The people that have been playing that video game for 12 plus years since they were like 11 years old, those people are always going to be better than the person that just started playing a year or two ago. It's never like, there's some things where you just can't make up, and you really can't make up or fake time and effort, okay? You can't like go out here and cap that, you put your 2,000 hours into wholesaling real estate and just expect to destroy the competition, okay? You can't fake it. You start the match and it's the fakes and the real ones, it's very easy to find the difference. This is why I absolutely love cold calling live. This is why there's not one wholesaler in real estate wholesaling that can go live, cold call motivated sellers that are actually cold and do better than me. There's not one wholesaler that does that. You know why? Number one, they don't go live and cold call. Maybe they're warm leads, but they never go out here and cold call because number one, you can't fake it. You can't go live. You can't click that live stream button in front of thousands of people, and you can't start talking to sellers, and you can't suck. The difference between me not sucking when I cold call and the gurus that do it, they suck and they stop doing it, it's because you can't fake it. You can't fake the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours that I put into wholesaling real estate when it comes to live cold calls. Those are the things I did at 18, basically 19, 20 years old that no other wholesaler, and 18, I would say, that no other wholesaler was willing to do. Guys, I cold call 5 hours a day, 5 days a week for a year straight and really gain that cold calling knowledge. There's not one guru that will go cold call live that even close to those hours. Why is that? You can't fake it. That's why nobody else is better than me at the cold calling when it goes live. You just can't fake it. You can't fake it. And guys, as someone that got their first deal with under 100 hours in their belt in the wholesaling, it's still possible to do it. Okay, like that, you obviously can do it. All right. But when we talk about doing consistent deals, you got to put the hours in. And if you're not at it, you got to put the hours into it, right? On top of this too, this is what we call the 1,000 leads rule. And this is a big rule I've always said. But if you really want to start getting your first deal and you want to get serious about it, you got to contact 1,000 leads. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Usually government lists, maybe drawing for dollars, maybe reverse drawing for dollars, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do. But usually about 1,000 leads is the rule that I have. And if you're not willing to do that every single month, you're probably not going to be the top 10%. So at least think about getting in contact with at least 1,000 people every single month. It's very hard not to get consistent wholesaling deals by doing that. That's it. Like, you just think about 1,000 leads. Think about that rule. Don't think about how you can cheat the rule, or maybe I'll cold call 1,000 really simple high equity leads, right? No, you get, like, these are the higher quality, the better. And this brings me back to what we really are talking about today. What are the 3 keys to being the top 10% in wholesaling real estate? There's 3 keys. I promised in the beginning I was going to tell you them. These are the things. All right. The 3 things that you have to master. If you can get these 3 things dialed down, you will easily be in the top 10% making $10,000 a month. This is it. All right. Number 1, if you can master having the highest quality lists in your marketing, right? So there's a key equation in wholesaling real estate to become successful. It's all about this. I'm just going to spit it out to you. It's all about the quality of the list. So how quality is that list? And usually the quality of the list is how difficult it is to obtain that list. The more difficult it is to obtain a list usually means the least amount of wholesalers can actually go out here and market to that. That is what I'm talking about. If it is harder for all the wholesalers to be at that list or to get that list, for example, the probates, that's a very hard list to get. So the quality of leads is a lot higher because there's less people going after them. Versus a vacant list, all I have to do is go to listaria.com, click a button, join a free trial, boom, all the vacants are right there. Probably take me about 30 seconds to get the vacant property list by just clicking listaria.com, boom, 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 right? Simple. It takes me a lot more than 30 seconds to get a probate list, which means less wholesalers are going to be going after that, right? It's all about the quality of the list you're getting. On top of that, you can have the most high quality list ever, but if you have the quality of the wholesaler sucks, I don't care how good your marketing is. I don't care about any of the stuff. If you're using a guru script, you're going to get your results and you're not going to make any money in wholesaling. It's all about the quality of the wholesaler too. How many hours did you put into this? How many hours did you practice in wholesaling real estate? Do you do one-on-ones? Do you role play with Zach? Do you actually try to actually get better at the script? Have you gone over the objections? I can go over this every single stinking day, and we can go over this, we can go over this, we can go over this. But how many hours did you put into it? Guys, if you go out here and box a professional boxer that put 1,000 hours into boxing training or tens of thousands of hours, it's pretty easy that they put more hours into it, right? They might not even be as physically gifted as you. They might be a lot smaller than you, but they just put more hours into it, right? And if you want to up the quality of you being a wholesaler, unfortunately, you can't be as good a quality as me in wholesaling within a week or two, right? Like you probably in a couple of years, you can get decently close, right? Like you just got to put the hours in. But remember, I'm always putting my hours in and training people constantly. But the one thing about it is how quality of a wholesaler are you, right? And yeah, this is a variable. If you're a beginner, just try to get as good as you possibly can and then just get better every single day. Don't expect to be this crazy monster in a day, but slowly get 1% better every single day and you can get it, right? And just let everybody, you can get your first deal in under 30 days, right? Like I tell everybody this, you can always get your first deal in 30 days. You probably find your first deal in 2 weeks. Don't let this be the thing that's like mentally stopping you. We talk about mindset, right? Nothing's going to stop you. But when we're talking about doing consistent deals, how quality you are of a wholesaler is going to be important. And how do you actually get the highest quality of being a wholesaler? You go to freewholesaling.com. Okay, you learn how to wholesale houses. Once you listen to me speak a bunch of times about how to be good at wholesaling, you listen to a millionaire, how to become a millionaire, you tend to become a millionaire, right? Everyone says that, right? You are the people you hang out with. You're the closest of your 3 friends. And when you go to freewholesaling.com and you hear me and Rick speak, who are millionaires in wholesaling real estate, hear us speak for hours a day. You are one of my friends. You do listen to me all the time. It's like me talking to you all the time and it's me lecturing you all the time. You are quote unquote my friend, right? I'm your friend here and you're listening to me. You do start thinking like me, which is probably not a good thing, but some of the stuff gets in your brain of how to become a millionaire and that increases your quality. I ask you what to say. I literally give you the script. The keys to the kingdom right there, freewholesaling.com. Go there, okay? Quality of you, the wholesale is gonna be super important. And the last part is quantity of the marketing, okay? It is the quantity and the quality. Let me say that one more time. It is the quality of the list and the quantity of the marketing. You can be the best wholesaler in the world with the best list in the world. But if you cannot do it at scale, if you cannot do it at volume, you will stay broke. This game is about who can do the most amount of high quality marketing for the most consistent time frame ever. Do not be the person that works out as hard as they can for 30 minutes once a month and expect to be jacked, right? Do that every single day or 3 or 4 times a week and you consistently can do it. Don't go hard all in one day and then not do it at all and then crash and then try to go out when you're motivated after a couple months, right? No, put in the work, not every week, every single day. I don't care if it's just 45 minutes. I don't care if it's only an hour. I don't care if it's 2 hours. I don't care if it's 10 hours. Just find what you can do consistently. I would rather you market 30 minutes a day, every single day, than market 2 hours once a week, right? I mean, obviously that's, all right, let's do this. I'd rather you market 1 hour a day than do 7 hours one day, okay? Just, it at least shows you can consistently do it and it will lead you to more success. And so quantity is very important here. But here's the thing. You can get a ton of quantity and you can just get poop quality and you're not gonna get any deals, right? Like you gotta get them all, right? Like you gotta hit all three. And why did I say you have to balance all these things, right? It's quite a lot to juggle. I get it, but this is the secret. It is the quality of the list you got. It is the quantity of the marketing. It's the quality of the wholesaler. If you get really good lists and do a lot of them and you actually know what you're doing, you are going to get a lot of wholesaling real estate deals. Most wholesalers can't master all three. I'm being completely honest with you. They can't. Usually they can get the quality and they can probably somewhat get the quality of wholesaler and they can get a okay amount of quantity out there. They wish they can do more, but they just can't. And that's the big problem, right? And so you got to understand, when you can master all three, then you become the person that will win and make over 100K this year. That's what I have personally found. If you want to make over 100K this year, focus on the quality of the list, quantity of your marketing, quality of you as the wholesaler. And the key here is to get the best list possible. And I always do it off a tiered system. Get the hardest list first, which is probably going to give you 50, 100 leads. Then go to the second hardest list. And then usually you got to get more leads from there and they become less quality, but at least get the top quality first and then keep going down until you do as many as you possibly can. And the main secret here for any wholesaler watching this, and I don't make this extremely clear to you, do not think you have to do all this marketing to make 100K. It's not even about that to a point. Just do as much as you can, right? Don't like skip meals or don't like ignore your daughter or your son by doing this or your wife or husband. Like, I'm not telling you to do that, but like try to get as many high quality lists. This is my advice. Get as much high quality lists and just do as much quantity as you possibly can in your means and just see where you're at, right? Now, the problem is when I say this advice, somebody will come up to me and say, Zach, I cold called 20 people this month and I haven't gotten a deal. And then I get other people say, Zach, I cold called 2,000 people this month and I've gotten a deal, right? People take my advice very differently. But if you can go to bed at night knowing that you did as many high quality leads on your marketing as possible and you trained at freewheelsing.com, there should be no shame in you not doing it, right? And I get it. There's people working really full-time jobs and struggling out here, and you just got to do what you can do, right? You can't master all three, but you can try your hardest. And if you can consistently go after leads over a long enough time horizon and you listen to what I got to say, you'll be successful and you will eventually make 100K because that experience just goes up there. And heck, if you want to quit, be a quitter. It leaves more of us wholesalers with a good mindset to keep going. So guys, if you want to get ahead of 90% of the wholesalers out here in this business, you just got to go out here and get high quality lists, high quantity of marketing, good volume, and be the best wholesaler you possibly can be. That's it.